This is Best Bread. You can find it on page 33 in the Bread Basket Cookbook. My children love this bread, and it has whole wheat in it. You can put up to half whole wheat flour that you freshly milled in it. So about even 8 to 10 cups of whole wheat flour if you prefer to put that much in there. It has a very soft texture, a very fine texture. It slices very nice. It makes a great toast or a great sandwich bread. And I'm going to show you some other things that you can do with Best Bread. Best Bread does have all-purpose unbleached flour in it. We also use Prairie Gold wheat in there. We grind that fresh. It does have sugar in it instead of honey. And so I prefer to use raw sugar or Demerara sugar, but it is unbleached, as is the flour. You can see it's not brown sugar, but it is white sugar that's not been bleached, made from cane. This one only has 5 cups of liquid in it, 5 cups of hot water. Again, I can't stress enough, if you do not know how hot your water should be, please use a thermometer. It uses some melted butter and also some oil. There's sugar in it, sea salt, and milk powder. And now we are going to add as much whole wheat flour as we would like to have in our recipe. So I will add approximately 3 to 4 cups. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of the unbleached all-purpose flour just to cover up my hot liquid like we talked about before in the whole wheat bread. Your yeast does not, if you're using sap yeast, does not have to touch the liquid to activate. And this is a little bit of precaution. If you put your yeast right on top of your flour, it doesn't touch the hot liquid in case your liquid is just a little bit too hot. So now we're going to begin mixing just to get a thick batter. We do not have all our flour in the recipe yet. So at this time we're going to go ahead and begin adding the unbleached all-purpose flour. The all-purpose flour gives the bread a little bit of a softer texture instead of a chewier texture like bread flour would use. You could use bread flour if you cared to, but the all-purpose makes it the nicest. I'm on speed 1. As we don't have a stiff dough yet, remember not to go too slowly. Our sides have not begun to clean yet, so we can just add flour. Now we're beginning to stiffen up, so we change to speed 2. Begin adding flour just a little bit more slowly, watching for the sides to clean. You can see that the sides have cleaned. You have a soft dough. You would turn your mixer off and feel it. It would not stick to your hands, but it still would be very soft. And we're going to let it knead for 6 minutes on a medium speed. Now we're going to just let the dough sit and rest for about 30 to 45 minutes, and it will grow. It will be very large, so you need to keep an eye on it, but about 30 to 45 minutes is usually good, unless it's extremely warm. So what we want to do is turn it on momentary speed, or number 1, just for a moment. Okay, that just deflates your dough. Okay, we have a clean counter here. Once again, we're going to use oil. No need to use some flour. If you oil your hands, it'll make it a little bit easier to get the dough out of the bowl. We're going to remove our dough hook. Just find it buried under the dough there, and strip the dough off the dough hook. If you will set your dough hook in your bowl in a sink of soapy water very soon after you've taken your dough out, and use a little brush, like a little vegetable brush, to clean your wash, it cleans up very easily. And of course it always can go in the dishwasher. Everything's dishwasher safe except for the motor base, of course. Spray in our pans, Vegeline pan spray. Once again, I'm just going to form my loaves the same way I did with my whole wheat loaves. These do rise quite a bit because of the unbleached all-purpose flour in there. Just pinched it off, set it down in there. Also, if you make a nice slash down the middle, you have a nice deep area there to keep the air bubbles out. I've had people ask me about the Bread Basket Cookbook, and how come you don't tell exactly how many loaves it makes? Well, just a quick judge is, see how many cups of liquid are in your recipe? If there's 5 cups of liquid, it'll probably make 5 loaves. Okay, I want to do some different things with this and show you some things, so we're just going to set these 3 loaves aside to rise. They'll take about 30 minutes to rise, and show you some things that some of the children will enjoy. We're going to use a baking sheet and spray it with pan spray. And you're just going to take little small pieces of dough about the size of a golf ball, and you're going to line them up on your baking sheet so that they're touching. The last little ball you can make just a little smaller than the other ones. We've made 6 little caterpillars, and we'll let those rise a little bit and bake, and then we'll make them look like caterpillars. So let's set that aside, and I'm going to show you how to take this best bread dough, make something really delicious to go with spaghetti or lasagna or even soup. I have about 2 pounds of dough left here. If I put it together, it would make a large 2-pound loaf. And so I'm going to take one of those sections. You do not want to use over about 12 to 16 ounces of dough, or these rise up way too large. And just carefully, you're not doing this like a pizza dough or anything. You want to kind of flatten it out a little bit, make sort of a rectangle. You can tell the dough has a lot of stretch to it. I'm just rubbing the dough down with some soft butter, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with some minced garlic, and I'm going to take a little bit of mozzarella shredded cheese and put in the middle. What we're going to do is we're going to roll this up just like you would a cinnamon roll. There, it's rolled up nicely. You take your baking sheet that's been sprayed. Then you want to take a very sharp knife. Starting at the end, you want to cut down through the middle of this roll lengthwise. You could even use kitchen shears. It might work a little bit better. And you're going to twist it. Tuck the ends under a little bit, just like that. And then you can take an egg mixed with a little bit of water. This will give it a golden, shiny look when it's finished. And you can just dab that over the top of it. It will also help the sesame seeds to stick. And also, for some extra flavor, we can sprinkle with some Parmesan cheese. We'll have a look at these when they're risen and then when they're baked, and we'll be ready for some more bread. You can see that the garlic sesame twisters have gotten quite large. They've been rising for about 25 minutes, and our bread is just about ready to go in also. Here we have our caterpillars out of the oven, and we're just going to rub them down with some soft butter. Now, to make your little caterpillars, you're just going to want to put some little antenna with stick pretzels. Take some mini marshmallows and just put them in the microwave just for seconds until they puff slightly. And we're going to stick them on there for eyes. See, there we have a cute caterpillar. And then you can use a fruit flavored little candy or a chocolate chip or a raisin and stick it right in there for the bug eyes. There's just one more look at the caterpillars. Just 4 small circles of dough. I bake them, put them together touching. They only need to rise about 15 or 20 minutes, and they bake for about 15 minutes on 350. And here, look at these. This is the garlic twisters we made out of the best bread. You see why I told you to only use 12 ounces to 1 pound of dough? Look how big they get. They're delicious. They smell wonderful.